like drinking became a huge thing for me. You know what I mean? Like I was just trying to numb myself from the feelings and really addressing, hey, why do I feel like that? And looking in like, hey, I'm valuable and I've got aspirations and I'm not done yet. You know what I mean? I wasn't looking at myself at that point. I was looking at myself like I'm a failure. You know what I mean? I sacrificed so much of my life for this crazy dream, and all the people that said you couldn't do it, they were right. You know what I mean? That's what those are the thoughts that I was telling myself. So I remember, I was drinking, driving, I was just making really poor decisions. And I'll never forget, I had been pulled over like 3 times. Every time the cop had let me off, came over, I would stand on one foot and count to 30. I was like, great, and I was wanting to be brought in. I was wanting, because I felt like it's the only way to get past this, is to get free of this. I felt so stuck in this rut. And I remember it was like God came down and held me firm, because it was like I stood on one foot and I was like, he's like, count backwards from 20. I was like 20, 19, 18, 17. Like, how am I doing this? This is wild. You know what I mean? And then after that, so then I was like, whatever, that's fine. And so then I drove home, blah, blah, blah. It happened another night, and I'm driving back in Polk City at the time. And I remember this cop is put on his lights. He's coming to pull me over. I'm like, great, this is it. I'm ready. And he goes, sir, have you been drinking tonight? And I was like, yeah, yes, I have. Well, how much have you been drinking? I was like, I'm not sure. It's been, quite a bit. And, so he's like, all right, give me your license, registration, give it to him. And I'm like, all right, and I'm accepting this is going to be the new trajectory. This is the trajectory I needed to take, but also I felt like this is what I deserve. This is what I deserve to go on to this next path for me, wherever it takes me.
You were like punishing yourself.
Absolutely,
almost.
100%.
Like I just need to hurt myself to real, like I deserve to be punished because I didn't make it.
Right, which is just so crazy. But anyways, the cop comes back. I'll never forget this, because he comes back. He said, you're going to hear this again, this phrase again. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna let you go. And he said, but go home. And I'm like, what are you doing? Thinking in my mind, do your job. Just do your job. You have one job, officer. Just do it. And anyways, he lets me off. I go home that night, drink some more, pass out in the shower, right? Over the drain. I wake up to my wife pulling me out. You know what I mean? I'm choking on water. And that was a defining point for me right there. It's like, I really felt like only my stuff, all the crap that I was doing was just pulling myself down. That I was so consumed with myself that I wasn't realizing that I was pulling down the people around me. And she was just like looking at me like, what is going on with you? Like, and at that time, what she was saying is, am I not enough for you? Am I not your Olympics? You know what I mean? Am I not good enough? And it was such an awakening that I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I told my dad, I told, my brother-in-law, and at the time, and a couple other guys, I said, I just need some accountability. I'm not doing well. And that was the first time I'd said that, maybe ever, to confess that to other guys. Hey, I'm not doing well. I'm not okay. And then I took like a 2-year hiatus of just water and coffee. That was it, water and coffee. And I began to heal. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to really pursue this coaching thing. Like, I'm really going to pursue this. And what I found out, what happened when I stopped worrying about me and I started actually pursuing coaching, is that everything I did, this is wild, in gymnastics, coaching turned to gold. It was like, I'm going to start the boys program and I'm really going to pursue it. All of a sudden I had like 6 guys leave a gym and move to my gym for a competitive team. And the owners were like, it's going to be years before you have a competitive team. It was year 1. It was like that year started a competitive team. They were like, well, it's going to be years before you make it to, regionals, whatever. It was year 2, we made it to regionals. So they said, well, it's going to be years before you make it to nationals, because they've been pursuing this for decades on the women's side, and it taken them forever to be successful. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And then year 3, we were at nationals. We were making it to nationals. And then the next year, one of those boys signed for a scholarship at a D1 college. It was crazy.
You started the program from 4 years from
scratch,
nothing to
nothing.
You've got a athlete placed. That's for competing at the national or the collegiate level.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep, made it to the collegiate level. It was just wild.